Now, this is how a cage match is supposed to be. The Tribal Chief returned last night and did everything except announce the fact that this is gonna be a triple threat match between CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. But let's deep dive into this steel cage match because this was amazing on a Monday Night Raw. First off, WWE did such a good job selling us this cage match throughout the show, reminding us of how these two hate each other. The video package almost felt like a PLE. Now, to set the stage, CM Punk is up 1-0 on Seth Rollins as he beat him on the debut of Raw on Netflix. And as I said beforehand, there's no way. There's no way this is gonna be a one and done. And I think this is what happened that night. Seth Rollins makes his way to the ring and then Punk comes out. They talk a little trash, staring between the cages at each other. And Michael Cole does such a great job reminding people of the Shield and how this stems from 2012. As soon, and I mean as soon as Punk enters the ring, Seth throws his jacket and starts throwing hands. Now they're throwing hands and fighting and just scrapping for like the first 5-10 minutes of the match, it seems. Straight up brawling, reversing each other's efforts to try to throw them into the steel cage. So that after they finally break out of the brawl, they start using the cage as it was intended, a big ass weapon that cosplays sometimes as a cage to keep your opponent in. And then one of the coolest parts that I don't remember actually seeing, and you correct me in the comments if it's happened before, and we know the rules. You either win by pinfall submission or escaping the cage over the top or through the door. Seth said, F that. He opens the door and says, Punk, if you want to win, the door is right here. You can leave. And CM Punk, he gives some Austin 316 sign language and throws the bird at Seth Rollins. And then they get back to fighting. Also, if you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to hit the like button. It definitely helps with the algorithm. It helps get this to more people, get more people in the community, so that way we can get this content out. But I appreciate y'all. Now, what's cool about this is Seth Rollins is so focused on his hatred and wanting to beat down CM Punk, he doesn't even consider winning and leaving and escaping the cage. That didn't even cross his mind. And then right after that, CM Punk does the exact same thing. And then Seth throws up the bird and does the exact same thing. And these guys just, bro, they are selling how much they hate each other. It wasn't even about winning. It was about having the license to really beat the hell out of your opponent. And it's actually legal. And then there's even more fighting, and they somehow end up at the top of the cage. Now, I didn't know where this was going. The drone shots were fired. Absolutely. Great production. But then we end up in a situation where Seth has CM Punk in a superplex position. Punk's legs were over the top of the cage. And then it goes into a superplex. And then Seth goes for the cover, and Punk kicks out. I mean, I think Seth and Punk both summoned the power of negativity and whatever Super Cena was drinking or whatever he was eating at that time, because they kicked out of everything. I mean, Punk did a GTS, Seth kicked out. And then Seth, which I thought was very brilliant, put Punk in the STFU, which if you remember, that was what Cena used to beat Punk at the Elimination Chamber. And I mean, Seth had it locked in, bro. But some way Punk found a way to get out. And a clean reversal into an Anaconda Vice. And then after a rake of the eyes, Seth follows that up with a curb stomp out of nowhere. And I'm like, oh man, this might be it. And then you know what? Punk kicks out of that. Then it looked like Seth was going for a super curb stomp off the second rope. Punk reverses that and then goes for another GTS. And you know what? Seth kicks out of that. I'm like, is this WrestleMania 25? Is this Taker and Shawn? Like, what are we watching right now? And then, oh man, one of my favorite things that I love in wrestling, I love a good move thief. CM Punk actually pulled a move thief and hit Seth with a curb stomp. And of course, Seth kicked out again. I'm like, man, this feels like a PLE right now. And then even with the door open, they still were stuck on not winning the easy way. Seth is talking trash to Punk. He's saying that if you want to take this, if you want my house, you got to take this from me. Punk did what looked like a shining wizard, I want to say. And then he goes for the GTS. Seth reverses, and then he does a GTS into a curb stomp. I'm like, this has got to be over, right? Wrong. This man kicked out again, bro. And then at this point, I'm just like, I think I was on stream. I think I'm out of my seat at this point because I'm like, how did he kick out of that? Seth then goes to the second rope. He completes the super curb stomp, and then he just sits there and he stares. And then out of nowhere,
acknowledge me.
No music, no intro, and perfect placement by the cage door. Seth is pretty much leaning on the bottom rope. Roman pulled a baby boy and yoked the man out of the cage, which to me, that was so brilliant. Number one, this gives Seth the W. He technically won the match because his feet touched the floor. So now it's 1-1 between Seth and CM Punk. Also, Roman cost CM Punk this match, which if you remember, CM Punk eliminated Roman Reigns at the Rumble. Roman then goes on a rampage, starts destroying Seth Rollins to get his lick back, because I know he didn't forget that curb stomp after the Royal Rumble, because I'm not gonna lie. That first one before he went to the steel steps, that first one looked like it looked like it hurt. I think it was a double curb. Was it both feet? But then Roman ends up putting Seth on the steel steps, and it looks like he's gonna return a favor. He's saying, I'm gonna end it all for you. And it looks like he's about to do a curb stomp on the steps, and then out of nowhere, Adam Pearce is bucking down, and I have never seen Adam Pearce run that fast. Bucking down with, I think, refs and other people from backstage to stop Roman. So as Roman is gathering himself, he then looks in the cage and in the ring, and who does he see? The wise man, Paul Heyman. He's consoling CM Punk in the ring, and Roman looks like, I know that ain't who I think it is. Like, he looks like, bro, ain't no way that this is happening right now. Then Roman goes into the ring, decimates CM Punk. Paul is shook at this point. And then we end the show with the ones to the sky, and the tribal chief is standing tall. This was such a brilliant way to end the show. There's a few things that I have some takeaways from this. Number one, this to me makes the cage match, it gives it its identity, and it's not just a match in the cage. This made you feel like these two people do not like each other, and they don't want to win by escaping. They want to beat their opponent, and the cage is there to keep them in. But their hatred is so strong, they don't want to leave. And also, it balanced out everything. CM Punk won, Seth Rollins won. And then we know there's so much smoke from the Shield. There's so much smoke from more than 10 years ago. There's so much history there that this ultimately, I feel, has to culminate at WrestleMania. This was such a great way to bring Roman back. And then there's also that favor is still out there, and we have no idea what that favor is. Maybe that's a main event spot at WrestleMania. Let me know in the comments, how did y'all feel about this? What were you thinking in real time? And did you get the finish to the match correct? Because I said in the beginning, I felt like beginning of the stream, that Roman was going to get involved, but they did it way better than I was expecting, man. But appreciate all of y'all for watching. If you like this video, definitely hit the thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to the channel. We do more wrestling content, live streams, and 2K content. So we would love to have you as a member of the tribe. And until next time, I will see you back in the ring. Peace, y'all.